Hello students, in the continuation of VSEPR theory, I am going to show some examples using the VSEPR theory. In this way, I will discuss molecules containing bond pairs only and molecules containing both lone pairs and bond pairs. Let's start with BF3. With me, you can do in your copy. Draw the structure of BF3. Okay, consider BF3 first. The VSEPR theory only requires the number of electron pairs in the outer shell of the central atom. Here your central atom is your boron and fluorine is your ligands. Central atom is boron. Okay, so we have to consider the electrons present in the outer shell. Since you know that boron is in group 13 and it has 3 electrons in the outer shell. Alternatively, the electronic structure of boron central atom we can draw, that will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. So there are 3 electrons in the outer valence shell. If all 3 electrons are used to form bonds to 3 fluorine atoms, let's draw it. Boron 3 electrons, fluorine already have 7 electron, if all the 3 outer electrons are used to form bonds to 3 fluorine atoms, the outer shell then has a share of 6 electrons, that is 3 electron pairs, 1, 2, 3. Thus, the structure is a planar triangle. Though this gives the correct shape, its bonds are actually shorter than would be expected for bond angles. Okay, shape is accurate, it is, but it has been estimated that the bond length is found little shorter than it should be. And one more thing you have to remember, the angle between two bonds will be 120 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this was the structure of BF3. Now let's see ammonia molecule. I hope you can draw the structure of methane. First you will draw methane, then you will try to make ammonia. Let's draw first methane. Okay, methane will give a tetrahedron structure and the bond angle will be 109 degree 28 minutes. Now let's see the shape of ammonia molecule. In ammonia, what is the central atom? Nitrogen is the central atom. It is the group 15. It is in group 15 and has 5 electrons in the outer valence shell. Let's see the electronic configuration of nitrogen. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So you can see that in second shell 5 electrons are there. 3 of these electrons are used to form bonds to 3 hydrogen atoms, and 2 electrons take no part in bonding and constitute as a lone pair. And you can see that 3 electrons are just making bonds with hydrogen, and 2 unpaired electrons, that is your lone pair, will remain. Okay, 3 of these electrons are used to form bonds to 3 hydrogen atoms, and 2 electrons take no part in bonding and constitute a lone pair. The outer shell then has a share in 8 electrons, that is 3 pairs of electrons and 1 lone pair. Okay, 3 pairs of electrons which are making the bond and 1 lone pair. 4 electron pairs give rise to a tetrahedral structure that we have seen in methane, and in this case 3 positions are occupied by hydrogen and the 4th position is occupied by the lone pair. Now, if we will not consider this as a bond, if I will hide this, what type of structure you will see? You will see a pyramidal structure. If you will see the model, it will give the pyramidal structure. So the shape of ammonia may either be described as tetrahedral with one corner occupied by a lone pair, or alternatively as a pyramid. So we can say it has a pyramidal structure. And the presence of the lone pair causes slight distortion. Whenever the lone pair will be present, the structure will be distorted. Okay, as you know that lone pair repulsion is greater than lone pair bond pair, that is greater than bond pair. Okay, as lone pair is present, so repulsion will be greater, so bonds will be repelled and the angle will be reduced to 107 degree 48 minute. What the angle was in tetrahedron? 109 degree 28 minute. So it has been reduced to 107 degree 48 minutes. Now let's see next structure of water. Ready to draw the structure of water. Oxygen is the central atom in water, H2O. Oxygen is the central atom and it is in group 16 and hence has 6 outer electrons. We have to consider this structure. For oxygen, the electronic configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So you can see that 6 electrons are there in the outermost shell. If all the 6 will, but in water, only 2 of these electrons form bonds with 2 hydrogen atoms, thus completing the octet. Okay, 6 is there in the outermost shell. It is making 2 bonds with 1 hydrogen. Octet is complete. The other 4 outer electrons on oxygen are non-bonding. These 2 pair of bonds electrons are non-bonding. Thus in water the oxygen atom has 8 outer electrons, so the structure is based on a tetrahedron. Two set of lone pairs and two bonds with one hydrogen. Four bonds means it should have a tetrahedron structure. There are two bond pairs and two lone pairs. The structure is described as tetrahedron with two positions occupied by lone pairs. I must have structure of water. Okay, let's see this only. Two bonds, two lone pairs. The shape should be tetrahedron. The two lone pairs distort the bond angle from 109 degree 28 minute to 104 degree 27 minute. You have to learn the bond angles between carbon hydrogen in methane, that is tetrahedron, then nitrogen hydrogen in ammonia, and hydrogen oxygen in water, that is 104 degree 27 minutes. In many of the competition in objective this angles are asked, so learn it by heart. More the lone pairs are present in the molecule, more the distortion is occurring and more the angle is reducing. Actually it is repelling, so repulsion is greater, so the bonds are getting closer and the angle is getting reduced. So this is our water molecule, and if I will just hide these two bonds of lone pairs, you can see a bent structure of water. That's why we say that water molecule has a bent structure. And any triatomic molecule must be either linear with a bond angle of 180 degree or else angular, that is bent. In water the molecule is based on a tetrahedron and is therefore bent. Okay, now let's draw the structure of phosphorus pentachloride, PCl5. PCl5. Central atom is phosphorus. Ligands, it is getting ligated with chlorine, 5 chlorine. So for 5 electrons of chlorine, 5 electrons of phosphorus will be there. So total 10 electrons are being used. Let's draw the structure and let me explain it. PCl5. This will give a pentagonal, trigonal bipyramidal structure. P will be here, Cl, 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 and one Cl will be here. You have to understand trigonal bipyramidal. Okay, triangular, one triangle and two pyramids. When I will meet all the bonds, that is showing a dirty structure here. It is not being clear, so I will not draw it. I will just leave it, and I like you to understand. trigonal bipyramidal. Okay, a triangle and one pyramid will go above and other will go below. That is trigonal bipyramidal. So gaseous PCl5 is a covalent. Phosphorus is the central atom and it is in group 15. So it has 5 electrons in the outer shell. If I will write the electronic configuration of phosphorus, it will be 1s2, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. So all 5 outer electrons are used to form bonds to give 5 Cl atoms. In the PCl5 molecule, the valence shell of the phosphorus atom contains 5 electron pairs and hence the structure is a trigonal bipyramidal. There are no lone pairs, so the structure is not distorted. However, a trigonal bipyramid is not a completely regular structure since some bond angles are 90 degree and other 120 degree. The pyramid which is that pyramidal, this is giving 190 degree and this triangle angle is 120 degree. Two types of angles are found here. Thus symmetrical structure are usually more stable than asymmetrical ones. So PCl5 is highly reactive and in the solid state it splits into PCl4 ion and PCl6 ion. Thus have tetrahedral and octahedral structures respectively. Okay, that PCl4 will have tetrahedral structure and PCl6 will have a octahedral structure. Let's draw another molecule. Let's draw sulfur tetrafluoride, SF4. Sulfur is in group 16 and thus has 6 outer electrons. The electronic configuration of sulfur will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. 4 outer electrons are used to form bonds with the fluorine atoms and 2 electrons are non-bonding. Thus, in SF4, the sulfur has 5 electrons pairs in the outer shell. Hence, the structure is based on a trigonal bipyramid. There are 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. To minimize the repulsive force, the lone pair occupies the equatorial position and fluorine atoms are located at the 4 corners. Let's see it. Sulfur 1, 2, 3, 4 lone pair. Okay, this is SF4. Sulfur is making 4 bonds with fluorine. 2 lone pairs are remaining. This lone pair can be present here and here also. But this can be here, here or here. Any 3 position of triangle we can assume for this lone pair. I'm not saying that only here it can remain. But in this position only it will remain. Either here or here. Why it is not going to this and this position? To minimize the repulsive forces, the lone pair occupies the equatorial position. This position is known as equatorial position. Okay, this is equatorial position. And this position only is occupied by the lone pair. It will not go on the axial position, the up, that pyramidal position. Okay, this is the structure of SF4. Now let's draw the structure of SF6. SF6. Again the same description. Sulfur is your central metal atom. It is of group 16 and it has 6 electron in the outer shell. The electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. And all 6 of the outer electrons are used to form bonds with the fluorine atom. We have to draw the octahedron structure like this. Sulfur is here as a central metal atom bonding with 6 fluorine, thus in SF6 the sulfur has 6 electron pairs in the outer shell, hence the structure is octahedral. There are no lone pairs, so the structure is completely regular with bond angles 90 degree. Every angle we will find that it is 90 degree. Okay, so this was all about the VSEPR examples, how we have to draw the shape of the molecules. I hope you have learned every structure and the bond angles. Let's see this. If AB2 type of molecule is, it will be linear, angle will be 180 degree. For AB3 type of molecule, it will be trigonal planar, angle will be 120 degree. For tetrahedral AB4, it will give the bond angle of 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay, in this only, if we will get trigonal pyramidal, means the shape of ammonia, the angle will reduce. If I will get bent structure, we will get bent structure means of water, so angle will be reduced. If AB5 type of molecule is there, we will have trigonal bipyramidal and the angles will be 120 degree and 90 degree. If AB6 type of molecule is there, the shape will be octahedral and angle will be 90 degree. Okay, other shapes we will get when lone pairs will be present in the molecule. Okay, just relieving the lone pair, we will consider the shape. So it can be either square pyramidal, square planar, T-shaped, linear shaped. Okay, this can be understand by models. If actually the board or this screen is planar, but molecules are not planar, they have a three dimensional structure. You will see that some bond is coming above the plane, some bond is going below on the other side of the plane, so it will have a three-dimensional structure. So read the types of bonds and angles, and this was all about different geometries. Next I will start valence bond theory. Thank you so much, children.